The Bloodstone, a short dark fantasy world-building audio story written and narrated by me, Mons. A huge obelisk-looking rock that pierced through out of the ground was a mystery to many. Not because of its teeth-looking shape or its pointy top, but because it was made of blood. Not in liquid, but in hardened form. It was a rock after all. You could hack stone pieces off it and carry them around like talismans, and if you would throw them into a fire, they would melt, and liquid blood would pour down into the ground. But that is about it, what the scholar community knows about this phenomenon and this place, the Blood Rock. The amount of texts and scrolls the scholars have written about it is very limited for a very simple reason. Cultists took over and chased everyone out, or well, sacrificed anyone who dared to stay. When the Bloodstone was discovered, a lot of wise men and students of magic traveled to it to learn more about their crafts and understand this world of magic. But the word traveled too quickly, and before an organization could build and establish something around the rock, fanatics simply took over. And there was no neighboring close-by kingdom that could sanction and help the scholars to learn more about the Blood Rock, because it appeared in the northern eastern wasteland where no one lived. Except for some nomadic marauding people who didn't mind the cold snow and harsh environment of the northern eastern part of the world, who simply just joined the blood cult. And after that, no one that lives today have ever seen it except for mad fanatic cultists. The only thing the rest of the world has of it are a few paintings of it and some texts about it, but also a bunch of talismans or pieces of it that were hacked off a long time ago. Those small talismans are now worth a fortune because the supply is quite limited. But those bloodstone talismans have become a bit forbidden and you can't wear them openly anymore. The Northern East blood cult in the snow desert have truly made a name of itself, and wearing one of those bloodstones are almost associating yourself with them. These cultists are now pillaging neighboring villages that they can reach, not for gold, not for glory, but for people to sacrifice. So now the price of bloodstones went up further and can only be purchased on the black market. Merchants who are selling these stones are often exaggerating and trying to boost the price by using the cultists as an example to showcase the magical properties of this blood red stone. But more knowledgeable people that actually read the text from the old scholars could clearly see that no one ever found any magical properties within these stones. Right now it has a lot of claims of different powers and capabilities that are actually contradicting itself, but no one is claiming with a clear text of evidence or anything of the sort what this stone actually does. So among the communities of wiser people, it's considered the most expensive red stone in the entire world. But the amount of time the scholars had to research the blood rock was quite limited, and who knows what the blood cult in this day and age is actually up to. But one thing everyone can agree upon is that their hunger for blood have only increased. And their numbers, even though living in that harsh environment, have increased. And they have clearly started to expand and even take more ground. So far they've only touched small villages and land that no one owns, haven't really affected any kingdoms, but they have made a lot of people into refugees. And as the refugees are being discarded and pushed away because no one wants them in their land, the word about the Blood Rock, the myths and the stories of its supernatural dark powers are traveling around in the mouths of the refugees. And once again is the blood rock a hot, boiling topic. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this little short audio world building story, and I also hope it inspired you in some way. Maybe you can use this little story in some form of way in your old role-playing sessions. Maybe the role-playing characters are trying to purchase a worthless, useless, bloody rock, or they are helping out some of the refugees that have suffered from the blood cultist, or maybe they are taking part in some form of expedition, searching out and trying to find the blood rock. May the dark dreams continue.